Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to share with you my January goals update. We are now into February, so I want to talk to you guys about how I did in January. So this will be sort of a little mini whip and chat, me sharing my goals while I'm working on my Bella Art kit. This is called A Sip of Sunshine from Bella Art Diamonds, and I'm going to be working on this. You can see here I made myself little cover sheets. This is the actual image that I'm going to be diamond painting, minus the background. So let me zoom into where I'm going to be working, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, I've got my timer started. As you can see, I've already done one section here, so I'm just going to start on the next one. And I'm going to jump right into my goals update. So how did I do in January? Not that great with some of them, got to be honest. So my first goal, as always, is my diamond painting hours. How many diamond painting hours did I get to count for January? Sadly, not very many, as I said. So I got a whole 8 hours and 7 minutes that I got to count. And that's it, which is pretty depressing, I gotta say. But I'm gonna cut myself some slack. January was busy. I was in the middle of adjusting to our move. I still am. We've been here for 3 months now, essentially, and things are still in progress. There are things that still haven't happened that we're waiting on. So I just didn't get a lot of diamond painting done, and that's okay. I actually did diamond paint, but I didn't finish the kit that I was working on until after January 31st, so those hours won't get counted until February. So even though January looks pretty abysmal with only 8 hours and 7 minutes, next month should look pretty good. My second goal was number of finishes, and that was 36 that I wanted to finish for the year. So how many did I finish in January? Again, pretty abysmal. I finished one thing, and that was my temperature blanket kit from Craft Pack Canada. And actually, a lot of those hours were actually worked in 2024, but it all evens out, right? That's just how I've chosen to do it. I don't count my hours until the project is actually complete. So even though a lot of those hours were worked in 2024, they get counted in 2025 because that's when I completed the project. So I have one finish under my belt for January, which is better than nothing. So I'm not going to complain too much. Again, trying to cut myself some slack. As things get more and more settled, as we move into the new house and things get settled there and life kind of returns more to normal, whatever that's going to look like, then my diamond painting will get back to normal, whatever that's going to look like. So one finish. So I'm behind because I should finish 3 things a month, but we'll see what February looks like. February is a short month, so I'm not going to hold out hope that I'm going to catch up completely in February, but I'm going to do my best. My third goal was to buy from Canadian companies. I did actually manage to do that in January. I purchased a kit from Captured by Radiance, which is a Canadian company. So I was able to get that kit, and I showed that one to you. I've already unboxed it. It was the Enchanted Dream, the little fairy that I purchased. So I do have that. I'm still trying to decide where and what I want to buy from other places. I really would like to buy some release papers from some other places just to see what they're like. I like making my own, but I'd like to see what other people are doing as well. But a lot of the places that I actually went in and looked on Etsy to buy accessories, I was going to buy some pens, I was going to buy some release papers. Many of the places that I looked at were on hiatus. So their Etsy shop was on vacation mode. They didn't have anything listed. Several of them also had websites that they referred you to. But when I went to the websites didn't have anything on them either. So maybe buying Canadian is going to be a little bit more of a challenge than I thought, even being in Canada. I can always buy from Dreamer Designs in Oraloa. I know that Dreamer Designs, their headquarters is in Canada. However, their warehouses are in the States, so I don't know if that makes a difference in considering them truly Canadian. I don't know. Anyway, I was going to do more accessories than kits because I just felt like buying from small shops would be better. I've gotten lots of suggestions about Canadian companies to buy kits from, but some of them, it's hard to tell if they're selling licensed diamond paintings or not. So I just haven't dug too deep into all of that yet. And I was just going to stick with accessories. But I did buy something from a Canadian company, so I'm going to call that a win and a goal that I met for January. So I met 1 out of 3 so far. So for my budget, my one kit cost me $87, and that's $87 Canadian. It was less than that in US dollars. I think it was something like $60 and some odd cents American at the time, whatever the exchange rate was at the time. That means if I spent $87 of my $1,800 Canadian budget, that means I have $1,713 remaining in that budget. We'll see how it goes and see what I spend in February. Number 5, my goal was to finish all of the spanglers currently in my stash. I have 4 spanglers left out of all of the ones that I've had. So I was working on Literate Dragon. Unfortunately, I did not finish it in January. I did finish it, but not until February. So it doesn't get counted in my January stats. So I didn't finish any spanglers in January. I will have it finished for February, and as I told you guys in other videos, my goal is to do 1 a quarter. I have 4. I finished 1, so I finished my first quarter 1. I don't have to worry about it again until the second quarter of the year, so not until April. I may do it before then if I want to, but I'm giving myself until April if I don't want to work on it until then. Because I do have lots of other kits that I want to work on, like this one. And this one I wanted to work on because I'm actually doing it for an event. I didn't make any events my goal this year, but I do like to keep track of the number of events that I participate in. So I'm doing the Butterfly Wishes event, Butterfly Wishes 2025 or 25, I think is the hashtag. So I'll be doing that event. Just an excuse to get things done to motivate me to finish things that are in my stash. So not that the events are necessarily a goal, but reducing the stash is. So no spanglers done. The next goal is I wanted to slash my stash by 30%. I don't know if I'm going to make it by 30%. We'll see. I didn't do very well in January. I finished 1 kit, which was my temperature blanket kit, but I also bought that kit from Captured by Radiance. So I finished 1, but I bought 1, which means I'm sitting at a net 0 for the month of January. So I didn't slash the stash by anything in January, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is, right? I can't, I guess maybe that's why it would be smarter to buy accessories from Canadian companies, because then it won't count against my stash count if I'm not buying actual kits. But I'm also finding myself a little bit reluctant to just buy things to buy them. I want to buy things that I'm actually going to use, which is why I was looking at pins and release papers, because those are things that I know I would use. And that would be multi-use, that I wouldn't have to get rid of. They're not one-time use products, if that makes sense. And then my last goal was my Stay or Go kits from last year. Last year, I opened a bunch of kits and tried to decide whether I wanted to keep them or get rid of them. Several of them have already made their way to new homes, but I do have a list of ones that are left that I decided to keep. I want to complete 3 of them this year. I didn't get to any of them in January. Again, because I was working on my Spangler. That's pretty much the only kit that I worked on in January, and unfortunately I didn't get it done in January. So I don't get to count it until next month. So you will be seeing the Spangler again when I am doing my goals update for February, but it doesn't count for this month. So out of my 7 goals, how many did I make? Didn't make my diamond painting hours, didn't make my 36 finishes. I did make buying from a Canadian company. I'm going to say I made my budget. I didn't set a certain amount that I wanted to spend each month, just how much I wanted to spend, and I'm definitely under budget, so I'm going to call that a win. So that's 2 misses, 2 hits for the goals. Spanglers finished, I missed. Slash my stash, I missed. Stay or Go kits, I missed. So out of 7, I hit 2. You mathy types, what percentage is that? I can't do that kind of math in my head. I'd break out my calculator, but I don't care that much. Maybe when I'm editing, I'll throw the percentage up there. 2 out of 7. Definitely a failing percentage, less than 50%. So yeah, I didn't do so well in January. But again, I'm going to cut myself some slack. We did just move countries. Lots of things are still in flux. So if everything didn't go exactly to plan, that's okay. We moved so that hubby could be closer to his dad. He is actually currently out having lunch with his dad right now. He goes to the home where his dad is living and they help him with his lunch. The family takes turns. Hubby's sister is going to be gone for several weeks visiting her daughter who lives out in British Columbia, which is on the other side of Canada from us. So hubby's going to be picking up the visits that she would normally do while she's gone. But he is absolutely enjoying getting to spend this extra time with his family. So headaches aside, all the waiting we're still doing aside, he's getting to spend more time with his dad, and that was the point. So we're slowly figuring it all out. So I think that covers everything that I wanted to cover for you guys today. Again, a little disappointed that I didn't meet more of my goals, but it's okay, right? They're just goalposts along the way. If I don't make them and something happens, I can rearrange them, I can change them. They're not set in stone, and it's all good. I want to finish up this color here before I close today, just so that I can finish this color and I won't have to come back and look and see what I missed when I sit down to pick this up again. I am looking forward to working on this one. I have, like I mentioned in my last Whip and Chat, we have lots of TV shows we want to get caught up on, and one of my actual play shows that I watch, Critical Role, their finale is, as I said, an 8+ hour finale. So hubby and I are going to make kind of a marathon of it. I'm going to diamond paint. He'll probably play on Facebook while we watch it, but we listen to see what goes on, and we'll see what happens in the 8-hour finale. All right, kind of a short little update, but I just wanted to give you guys an update on how January went for me. Fingers crossed that February goes a bit better. It's already going better. I'm working on the kit that I wanted to do for the event that's happening this month, which I wasn't sure was going to happen, so it's all good. After I finish this one, I likely will switch over to the Bella Art Bubble Girl, the one with the octopus that you guys all liked. It is quite a bit bigger. This one's basically 30 by 40. The Bubble Girl is like a 70 by 70. I can't remember if she's round or square, so I think she's square. She may take me a bit longer, but this one is round and it's going pretty quickly, so I'm excited for that. For those of you who've been following the channel, I know several of you have set your own goals, so let me know in the comments below, did you meet your goals for January? Have you abandoned them already? If you have, that's totally fine, no shame. Goals are not for everybody. If you're one of those people who just kind of flies by the seat of your pants and just does whatever seems great in the moment, let me know that too. That's it for me today, guys. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.